Oh no, I'm being recorded.
I didn't sign up for this.
I didn't allow this.
Right, that was good. Hold on.
All right. Why is that like that? How many crossovers things you guys have?
I don't know if you
Crossovers?
enjoyed the same Mario Party as me, so I guess we'll find out.
Oh,
Because mine is heavily one Mario Party.
mine's spread out
Also,
across three versions.
I have this weird feeling that this list is gonna go by fast when we do our what's it called. So I don't know if you want to do at the end of it like honorable mentions because I have like a big ass list of party games.
I'll have to
I,
throw in some honorable mentions then.
I guess I'll look for some honorable mentions.
I'll look for some honorable mentions.
We get those honorable mentions.
Yep. Very honorable of us to do this.
Oh, and then for one of the last things, next episode, since the reoccurring will start back with me. Um, for our Patreon fans, I want to start doing two top five lists. The one top five that we do an actual recording, but the second it's not going to be recording. It's just going to be a writing that we give out to Patreon people.
Okay.
And it'll be like something random, like I don't know, like one day everyone will pick out something small, like oh, where's the best places to get fries, for instance, and then you do like
Carl's Jr.
top five.
How
Whoa,
dare you?
whoa. Yeah, and then we'll do like top five fry places or something like that. And then if you guys want, you can be like descriptive or not descriptive as you want, and then we'll post our all of our stuff to like one like word page or whatever, and then put it up on Patreon. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
It's fine with me.
As long as I'm not the one coming up with these lists.
You just made the list.
I only have so many topics.
Well, you just made the list.
Hey man, that guy just lost today.
Did he?
Yeah.
Freaking! I like how Jericho is more over on that TV show than freaking Dustin Rhodes, and freaking he loses way more, way more than he should.
Did you see that? What happened in that last match?
Nuh-uh.
So they made a big deal because it was the five labors of Jericho, whatever. It was his fifth labor, and so MJF told him that he couldn't use his finisher, the Judas effect, and also couldn't have his theme music play when he came out.
Oh my god.
It's like, wow. And then of course AEW like pushed out like, hey, not to give y'all any suggestions or anything, but here's the lyrics to Judas. So obviously when he came out, the whole crowd sang Judas for him. Not gonna lie, I was very impressed because they got in sync really quickly.
That's crazy.
It was pretty good. And then it was the ending. The ending was weird because like the whole thing was they couldn't use the Judas effect. And so the ref turned her back and he grabbed a bat and hit MJF with it and then threw the bat out and like was about to do the Judas effect and then stopped. Is like, no, I can't do that. That's against the rules. I'm like, dude, you just used a bat.
Oh my god damn it. That's hilarious.
It doesn't make sense.
That's hilarious. Dun, 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 dun,
Also, Friday, CM Punk better show up because they're gonna have a riot on their hands if he doesn't.
I'm pretty sure he is. I don't know what that date is that he put out for.
The interpretation that I've been getting from folks is that 05 was considered, and I think it was Ring of Honor, the summer of Punk, and then 2010 was the WWE summer of Punk, and then he put 21. So like, I guess 2021 is the next summer of Punk, even though summer's almost over. But you know, summer of Punk.
How come he didn't put his UFC debut a year on there.
Because he only fought in the winter. Couldn't have been summer of pump.
God dang it. I mean, he's technically 1-1, so
Yeah.
even though he lost both fights.
All bad things. All bad. BT dubs for my topic. It is going to be heavily discussion, so be ready to talk about it.
Be ready.
Have opinions on the MCU, basically.
I've got none.
I don't know what this does.
I've seen at least the first episode of What If. I just haven't seen the second one.
I've only seen the first. I don't think it affects very much of the MCU, so don't be too worried about it.
Sounds good. But I'm current on almost everything, I think. So
Testing.
1, 2. 1, 2. 3, 4. Oh, I should probably test 2. Can you see me? I need to turn this so you can see me when I'm talking to this thing. Testing. 1, 2, 1.
I'm gonna do one
number
more.
2.
Gosh dang it. I'm gonna do one more testing real quick because there's these weird things right here, and I wonder if it's gonna fix my audio. So there was a fat guy. His name was Bob, and Bob loves cheese. And with that cheese, he made a cheeseburger. And after that cheeseburger, he ate French fries. Let's see if that works.
you sound worse on the Zoom side, but I don't know if
I feel like there's probably some lackiness to the Zoom.
Yeah.
Okay. I figured it out. There's one that's like super fucking low, and I think I was on that setting. So
there you go. Don't make Josh upset.
I'm trying not to. He said he was going to look at my mic, but then we got busy that night.
You made him upset.
Not like this. It's because he was about to freaking merge. That's why. He was about to merge. By the way, I don't know if you heard, everyone hates that fucking rule.
That's what I've been hearing. I like the idea of it. We didn't get to really see what it does. Taylor, so you remember Blood Rage and Rising Sun?
Yes.
Okay, the third one came out of the trilogy of those games. It's called Ankh, Egyptian themed.
Okay.
Real cool. So it's got similar elements to it, but what's one cool thing that they added to it is that towards the end of the game, the 2 lowest scoring players merge. So because we're playing as gods, so those 2 guys merge into one god. And so all their stuff becomes one, and they work together to try and catch up to everybody else. Which, cool concept. And I do want to see it in action. We didn't get to see it in action when we played it. But from what I've been hearing, people hate it.
Really?
They say it ruins it. I've heard it both ways, in that it ruins it. It makes whoever's in last or second to last have to lose everything to have to drop back to the last person.
I see.
And then I've heard it the other way, in that when they merge, they become too powerful and just shoot up the board.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that seems unfair. And so it seems like it's a little bit, it's on both ends of the spectrum, but there's nowhere that's in the middle that's like, yeah, it's balanced.
I think it's one of those things that'll just eventually come along.
Yeah.
I can see it. I like it. It's just, I think, and this is definitely a topic that we could bring up during the show, but I feel like what sucks is that because of the way that the Kickstarter campaign worked, and they came out with all the expansions and extras with it in that campaign, that there isn't going to be like a improvement to the game at some point in the future. It's because everything's already come out for the game. They're not going to come out with like an expansion that fixes that or tweaks it.
That's true. The only thing we'll call Simon has been putting out like a like free campaigns and stuff like that. Matter of fact, there's a free scenario supposedly already out for Ankh.
Ooh.
So I think that's what they're going to end up doing, like making certain scenarios where, because I heard there's 2 scenarios in the book where you don't merge. That's one of the special rules.
I think, yeah, I saw that. And I was like, I don't want to do that. That sounds dumb. I want to merge. But now it seems like maybe we should try that. But yeah, I kind of want to dive into the game a few more times, especially in different scenarios, just to get an idea of if this merging is bullshit or if it's just people like overreacting to something new.
This makes sense. Taylor, you okay?
Yeah, I'm just really intrigued by Avatar Legends right now. That role-playing game that you mentioned.
Yes.
It is doing fantastically well on Kickstarter.
It is.
Yeah.
You didn't even care about what you didn't even care about what we were talking about, did you?
No, I was listening to you.
You son of a bitch.
He's in the realm, okay? Yeah. It's board game related.
And it was Kickstarter related.
So it's all there.
Exactly.
Hey, I want to know how you're gonna do when we start playtesting games. How bad is your itch for grabbing your phone gonna be?
I will be respectful and not have it on
It's
me.
not me who I'm worried about. It's everybody else at the table.
No, it's you.
I'll be like, I don't even know that guy. I don't even know.
I think I did fairly well when I was at my first Gen Con.
Yeah, I'm more excited that we signed up for a whole bunch of more demos this time. So
bless you.
Oh, thank you. BT Dubs, if you are interested in that Avatar thing, Sierra's getting it. Like I can't stop her. She's gonna get it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hold her up because I'm like, there's gonna be more stuff that could potentially come out, and let's wait out for that.
Yeah.
But she's gonna get it. So
yeah,
we'll probably play it in the future.
Sounds good. Yeah. When you were telling it to us over the PlayStation Network, Daryl was listening and she's really interested in it as well. So
can I tell you something real quick that might ruin it for you?
Yeah.
Do it.
You know it's a D&D style type of game, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's Avatar.
It's more interesting because it's Avatar. How am I going to care about Tiamat and Baldur's Gate and I'm just naming off?
Because it sounds like I don't have to come up with a character. Like the character's already built for you. So
no, it's not.
You do.
You have to come up with a character.
Oh.
The other characters are in the game and you could potentially interact with them, but you have to create your own character.
Well, I don't understand why you don't like that. You cosplay all the time. I want to fucking heart punch
as
you.
characters that exist.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to come up with them.
Exactly. It's already there for me. I'm just a template. I just mold into that template.
You son of a bitch. You copycatting motherfucker.
I'll give it a chance. I would like to try this out. So
you just thought you could be fucking Aang or something? What the shit's wrong with you?
I would like to be someone with the waterbending tribe. I think waterbending would be my.
You could waterbend these nuts. How about that?
You want me to part your sea? I don't know. I just like you sick son.
Somewhat related to this topic. Did you hear the story that Malachi Black told about?
And about leaving WWE or
no? Apparently, when he was in NXT, he had just lost the title to Ciampa.
Oh, about him ripping his nutsack?
Yeah, like that's fucking insane.
It's the worst ever. I wish Taylor would rip his nutsack.
Oh God!
Why?
Anyways,
would that make you happy?
No, there's only one thing in the world that's gonna make me happy, Taylor. You know what it is. Acknowledge me. On me moms, homie.
We need to practice for that tournament because I'm stressing out about it.
Oh, okay.
I have no practice.
We have like 3 weeks.
For which tournament again?
The Funkoverse tournament. You know, we have to play with a rando, right?
That's fine.
Okay. I'll play against you guys.
I just don't want to be the weakest link.
I'll play as 2 people.
Oh,
we'll whoop you guys both up.
That's good.
You gonna be okay with that, Taylor?
Yeah.
Well, we can even stream it. Oh, that's another thing. some point in time, hopefully this weekend, if we have time. Bagel Top Games hit me up on the way when you guys were leaving off of what's it called? He had brought more streamers. Crazy thing is, there's this guy named Kabuki Kid who's like on the Dice Tower. He's the mod for
Woo!
their online, like whatever they do online for YouTube or whatever. He added me as a friend. Okay.
Sneak it on in there.
So yeah, I got a few followers yesterday off of that.
Congrats.
Yeah, it was really weird because I was like, Kabuki Kids, I was like, that name sounds oddly familiar. I feel like I've seen you on the Dice Tower. And he's like, yeah, I'm the mod. Those are good folks over there. And like, he's talking good things, obviously things that we already know.
Yeah.
But yeah, he said, I want to follow you because he would like to see how we usually do the squad versus squad legendary.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So networking.
Yay! Next thing you know, Tripolar Opinion is regularly reviewing games for Dice Tower.
I know, right?
So I guess some slightly bad news, I suppose.
Oh no.
We have family plans on Saturday to be going up to Jackson. But we're leaving 9:30 in the morning. And so I'm hoping like, we'll have lunch together. We'll maybe have an early dinner and then we can drive back and then I can be there
just let me know. We have family stuff going on.
Therefore, I was going to say
Saturday
Summerslam's on Saturday.
Well, you know the bad thing, I'm actually at my fucking what's it called on Saturday, so I don't know how long I'm gonna be there.
Okay.
Wait, during SummerSlam?
So yeah, Easy has 2 soccer games, one at fucking noon, one at 1 something. At noon, I have to be at my fantasy football draft, and I'm to be dead honest with you, I'm gonna have to cash out just right away. I'm gonna get like 3 guys that I absolutely want, and then just bet on a whole bunch of people for like some cheapsies, and hopefully it goes by pretty fast. Other than that, yeah, because I'm not trying to be. Every time we do this, we're there for like 5-6 hours. I'm only trying to be there for like time. Yeah, I'm only trying to be there for like 1 or 2. So I'm gonna try to push some things and see if this fucking works out the way I want it to. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, and then obviously SummerSlam is on, but I'm pretty sure that'll end by 7. So I'm hoping to get a game of Legendary in between like 8:30 and 9, and then we'll just go from there.
Also, David, this guy up here, he's above me on mine. He's trying to say that he might not be able to be at the draft.
Oh, so is he the one that's not? Are we eliminating him?
I talked to him. The man is down. He wants to be in.
Oh, wait, this guy, but the guy above you.
This guy right here.
Does he know that I'm not helping him, right? That he has to do his homework and that this is a weekly thing, not a one-time, one shot. I'm going to just do this and then like forget about it type of thing.
I have not been very like straightforward with that and making it clear that this is something you got to be dedicated to. Like this ain't something that you're going to fall off after like a couple weeks. You're going to be on this for the whole season. That's the rules. That's what you got to be doing because we're not doing any of these half-ass people anymore.
Mm-hmm. You hear that, Taylor?
Yeah.
Acknowledge me. If I beat you, you must acknowledge me.
So be aware of that, sir.
Will do.
Okay.
We'll talk more. We'll talk more later.
Okay.
Anyways, let's get this shit on the roll.
On the roll?
Oh, yeah. It's real quick. No shout outs. No, what was that other thing?
Any questions?
No questions. I did have a not like written out question. I guess everyone should silence their phone. So
yeah.
Someone had asked me like, what's the reason of doing the podcast?
What's the reason? Ooh.
Yeah, like why did we want to pursue doing a podcast?
What's the reason?
Well, Mr. Baggard approached me and
don't be answering now.
We can bring this up. We can bring it during questions. Okay.
I'm gonna let Taylor go first and just be like, yeah, he asked, and I said yes, and then I'm gonna go and be like, I've always dreamed of doing
Oh Jesus.
Is it that time?
Yeah.
I think it's that
Okay,
time.
I'm gonna turn off the AC then.
Yeah, my AC's been off. It's hotter than a motherfucker in here, Taylor. My ball sack's so hot that it's about to melt off and rip itself.
I'm concerned.
You know,
But
like when you're-
slightly aroused.
I'm just saying, like when you're trying to get like melted cheese off of paper and stuff, and it kind of like stretches, but you know it's just gonna rip. That's my ball sack.
Understood.
Um,
That was gross.
Ah, ah, ah. All right,
damn it.
Taylor, on go. You're gonna say on go.
Yes.
Okay.
Not on 3.
Yep.
So on 3.
This
3, 2, 1, go. How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the Tripolar Opinion Podcast. I'm your host today, Taylor. We also have our host, Mr. Maggard. And then we also have our other host, Albert.
What the fuck was that?
Dang, Josh is so good. Did you see that sound that he put in? That was crazy, right? Sounded like the real Joker. I can't believe it.
It's quite impressive. Yep.
This is smooth. I
I'm
love
sorry.
this.
Did it? I just ruined everything, didn't I? It just threw off the
And
whole
this
the
is some
whole
friendly
thing.
banter. We got to hit that banter. It's even in our show notes. We got to do banter.
Oh, real quick before we move on, I think I need to make this straightforward because someone had approached us earlier about possibly doing a like a hookup, like a crossover. More than one person, but I just want to make sure that the other person understands and does it. Hopefully, people understand that our name is not. It's not. I don't want to say it's like a support group for mental health. That's if that's what we brought to the table and you got the wrong idea. It's just mainly 3 guys with 3 different opinions about a whole bunch of stuff entertainment wise. We apologize if anybody's offended by it. Hopefully nobody is and everyone likes our stuff, but I just want to make that straightforward that like we're not a podcast strictly talking about bipolar or tripolarism. Is that what it's called? Ism?
I don't think tripolar disorder exists,
Correct.
but bipolar
Okay.
disorder does.
Oh, it's that's called like schizophrenia at that point, right? I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm just saying.
I was about
like,
to say you
Digging
went
that
into
grave,
this,
just
let's go ahead and like cover our bases. We're not trying to offend you as I offend you right now.
Whoops. Anyway, so back to our regularly scheduled program. Taylor, would you like to take it from here?
Sure, of course. Yeah, we got some topics to discuss today. I'll be talking about the new Pokemon Direct that went on today. Mr. Maggard, you got Summerslam and NXT Takeover. And Mr. Alberto, we got the MCU universe. So
The Marvel Cinematic Universe. I like it.
exactly. MCU. It's like ATM machine.
At the moment machine? What?
Yep.
I've never heard of this before. What do you get at that type of machine at the moment?
I'd love to have one. If it could just spit out money, that'd be great.
At the moment?
Oh,
Yep.
at the moment.
All right. Well, why don't you start us off, Mr. Maggard, with your topic?
Yes. So, as we're recording this, today is August 18th, 2021. This weekend is actually a big weekend for WWE. They have their annual SummerSlam event. Oddly enough, it's on a Saturday instead of a Sunday, and they have their NXT Takeover 36. I just wanted to highlight a few matches that I think, even if you don't watch it this weekend, at some point go on Peacock and give it a little view, give it a little hey, let's see what's going on here, because I think it's going to be some decent stuff on here. So first on Saturday, like I said, SummerSlam. The first match I want to talk about is Edge versus Seth Rollins. This is his I don't want to say his second match back, but basically his second opponent back because he's been wrestling Roman Reigns for quite some time now. But the storyline's really good. It's written out. Yes.
Are you forgetting about Randy Orton? Or
No, isn't Edge? Didn't he like?
they had the greatest wrestling match ever.
Oh, that was the worst.
How do you not remember that?
That was all right. Whatever. Anyways, well, he's on to like a new prairie now, where storyline branch off of things with Seth Rollins, but really good story build up. If you don't know backstory, Seth Rollins cost Edge a chance at the Universal title, and so now they're after each other, you know, trying to puff each other's chest out, and we'll see what's going on. You know, it should be a really good match. Second match I'd like to highlight is Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks. This is her first pay-per-view back since she has been absent for quite some time. Oh, Sasha Banks.
Thank you.
Yeah. So this is first match back since she's been absent for quite some time. And I didn't know why. Sasha Banks is that type of person where if I get too much of her, I think I get like irritated of her, but when she's gone, I surely do miss her, especially her type of personality and her type of style of wrestling. And to add on the fact that it's against Bianca Belair right now, who's like one of the hottest women in wrestling right now, this should be a really good match, and I'm hoping this turns out to be one of them. And then obviously, if you didn't know, everyone knows my favorite guy, and it's not John Cena, but he is going against my favorite guy, Roman Reigns, versus John Cena. But I think there's going to be swerve here because, like I said, as we're recording this on a Wednesday, Friday Night SmackDown is still the go home show. I still believe there's time to insert Finn Balor into this match. It's weird how they had brought him out versus Roman Reigns, and then he was like, "Oh, we're gonna go through this thing," and he just beat him one time, and then all of a sudden John Cena's the next man up to face him. Either for me, it's a big mistake that Finn Balor's like basically lost in transition now between that whole thing. That's why I think it's still possible for a triple threat match to pop up. But for me, it would make most sense, spoiler alert, because I think if Roman Reigns would lose the title, either person, John Cena or Finn Balor, could be the person that actually gets pinned, and Roman Reigns still keeps somewhat of his dignity as the tribal chief or the head of the table. On to Sunday, which is NXT Takeover 36. The whole card. Please watch it. I'm sorry. I tried to dumb this down to just one or two matches. The whole card's actually 5 matches, and I think it's a strong card. Even the weakest match, or like the least popular match, LA Knight versus Cameron Grimes for the $1 million title, that's such a good storyline right now, and Cameron Grimes is so over with the fans. If you didn't know, also, if Cameron Grimes loses, Ted DiBiase has to be the butler now, so that's like, even if that happens, that's going to be, yeah, I think it'd be hilarious to see Ted DiBiase in the Virgil role here playing against LA Knight. So one of the next matches is going to be Walter versus Ilya Dragunov. If you don't know who these two guys are, they're NXT United Kingdom wrestlers. They obviously come from the UK, super popular. The first time they wrestled, amazing match. If you want to see some hard hitting, if you want to see some red chests, you're going to hear a lot of slapping and just all out brawl. The closest thing to an actual real fight in wrestling. That's what you're going to see. Next is another good match, a rivalry of two best friends split, Rachel Gonzalez versus Dakota Kai. The promos that they had just put out yesterday, I think, were pretty good. So I'm really excited to see how this goes. I think Rachel Gonzalez is going to keep the belt, but to be honest with you, it could go either way, I feel like. Next is probably going to be one of my personal favorites out of this night, because it's the re-debut of Samoa Joe back in action versus Karrion Kross. And I know a lot of people aren't high on Karrion Kross right now. I think he has potential. I just think there's something lacking with his likability or his mic skills a little bit. But they both wrestle really good. I can appreciate what they bring to the table. And I think that's going to be another hard-hitting match. And then finally, supposedly for the main event, you have the end of a rivalry, Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly. Now it's a not false calendar, 2 out of 3 falls match. First one is supposed to be a regular straight up wrestling match, which I'm like, Kyle, why would you suggest that? Because that's that's just boring. It better be like really good. Okay. And then Adam Cole says, oh, he wants a street fight match for the second match, which that should start picking things up. And obviously, there's always a third match. Well, most likely, there's going to be a third match. And the third match was decided as a steel cage match. So all three of those matches should be good, or all three of those falls should be good in that match. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really excited for this weekend. And even if I miss part of SummerSlam or NXT, I think this is one of those pay-per-views I'm going to rewatch on Monday if I get a chance to.
Yeah, you got to really enjoy Adam Cole's last match in WWE.
That's another thing I was going to bring up. This could be his last match. There's deep speculation he's going to go join his girlfriend, Dr. Britt Baker, at AEW. If you don't follow his video game channel, yes, he still does have a video game channel, because under the NXT contracts, those guys are still allowed to have YouTube channels and whatever and whatnot. He kind of said something like, no matter what, he's never not gonna post or lose this channel. And I think that's where the speculation comes, where like he might be done, or maybe he might be the start, hopefully, fingers crossed, of a new different type of turnover for WWE. I mean, you got to understand, Vince, is giving them money, but these guys also have to make bread somewhere else, something that they can call their own brand. So hopefully this new contract, if he gets one or if he accepts it, is something that's wrestler friendly, and finally it shows that Vince is kind of turning the leaf, which I don't know, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to ask for. I think you got better shot of seeing pictures of Ric Flair on a train than him getting a crazy contract like that. So
I didn't know Samoa Joe came back.
Oh yes, Uncle Joe came back. By the way, small short story. From the time that my kids had saw Samoa Joe, I told him, because we kind of resemble somewhat of the same body style and face or whatnot. But I've told the kids that that's their uncle. So anytime he comes on, the kids always go, Uncle Joe, Uncle Joe's on TV. They've never met him, but maybe one day.
Quality. Yeah, he returned. It was kind of interesting because they returned him as a like authority figure type of deal. Like he's an enforcer to make sure that there's no more like craziness going on, no more wild brawls kind of thing. And then they were like, you can't fight any of the wrestlers unless you're provoked. And then he got provoked, and now he's there. So
I see.
I don't know. I from the rumors I'm hearing around the mill, because one major thing, Taylor, I'm not sure, you're probably not aware. There's a lot changing in WWE right now. And it goes beyond just the like mass amount of released wrestlers. Like there is going to be like a huge change to the product. It might not be like immediate. They're not going to come out after SummerSlam and be like, all right, everything's new now. But they're like transitioning to pretty much like a new era in their company, where a lot of the main roster stuff, there's going to be some new stuff going on there. I'm not 100% sure how they're going to change it up, but that will be going through some changes. That'll probably be more like weekly entertainment focus, because it seems like this like USA and what's the other one? Hold on, I got this Fox. Okay. The folks who do Raw and SmackDown, they are trying to get more and more input. And so it seems like WWE might be listening to them a bit more and start doing more stuff that's more like weekly entertainment rather than just pay-per-views.
So this wouldn't be like a change like WWF to WWE?
Not that. But what another thing that's apparently going to have a huge change is NXT. There has been a lot of talk that NXT, because they shopped a lot of folks recently, and there's talks that they're going to transition it back to being purely developmental. So a lot of these like NXT mainstayers, if you want to call them that, like Gargano, Ciampa, Adam Cole, Pete Dunne, the dudes that have been there for years and have essentially established that as their brand, they may end up either going to the main roster or leaving. because they want to turn that brand into a purely like under 30 years old with ton of potential type of folks being on that show that will one day go to the main roster. They don't want it to be a third brand anymore. They don't want it to be its own thing. And so that's likely going to change a lot, because you look at like the card, like you were talking about, and guys like LA Knight, Cameron Grimes probably going to be sticking around. Is there going to be something between what you call it, Legato and Hit Row? Is that happening?
See, I thought there was, but when I pulled up the card the last time, it didn't show it. So I'm a little bit confused because they've been going back and forth. And spoilers, if you haven't watched NXT, they had a pretty decent segment on NXT of like a little parking lot brawl. I don't know. I was slightly confused. Like I said, when I pulled up that card, I only had those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches, and I couldn't break down the list of 3 because I think the whole card is going to be amazing.
It is. And if Legato and Hit Row get added to it as like some kind of last minute add-on, that honestly will be amazing too, because both of those trios are fucking great. But like those guys are probably going to be sticking around in NXT for a while. But if you look at like top of the card guys, you look at Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, who else would we say is near the top of the card? Karrion Kross is already on Raw.
Which is weird to me. Like,
it is weird.
When they do that type of stuff, I almost think that like Kross is going to lose the title to Samoa Joe, because it's an easy transition for him to go into Raw.
I was about to say, if I'm gonna give you my prediction, Samoa Joe's walking out with that title. It's gonna be really cool. It's gonna get a quality pop, because fans are gonna love that Samoa Joe's got a title again. And then Karrion Kross is gonna leave, and essentially it's gonna be Samoa Joe being the old guy that brings up this young new talent, and kind of establishes this new generation of younger talent in NXT. Which I feel like is probably the best role for Samoa Joe right now is helping build those guys up.
Yeah, it's a little bit confusing for the one part that WWE or Raw or SmackDown, whatever he was on before, he got let go from there, then immediately got signed. Like Triple H was like, no, we're bringing in Samoa Joe back to NXT, and then now Vince or whoever creative was like, no, this is just strictly a developmental brand. That's odd to me, because I get it. Technically, people see NXT as a failure because it didn't beat out numbers with AEW. You gotta understand, AEW is the hottest thing right now. There's new faces over there. There's a tons of talent that had came over from WWE that's going over there now. That it's getting a chance to shine in a new promotion. Okay, so a lot of people, anytime someone gets something new, like if you get a brand new controller, if someone bought you a brand new PlayStation 5 controller right now, I'm pretty sure you would use that controller over the one that's been dependable and that you've been using since the day that you got the controller, just because it's newer and it feels better, and it doesn't have as much wear or whatnot. I just, and I'm not saying it's going to stay like that, but like I don't think that's NXT's fault. Like they've been there. The ratings, yeah, they've been under, but they've been right there still, popping out good product. Everyone has said that NXT is like just as hot as AEW's product for when they had the Wednesday Night Wars, even though now they're moved, until they moved to Tuesday or whatever. But God, I just don't understand what they're going to do, because one thing that I always look forward towards NXT was War Games. War Games was amazing. Every War Games was amazing. And now, like, I'm confused. Are they not doing any of those pay-per-views anymore since they were like NXT branded pay-per-views? Because War Games was one. They brought back Bash at the Beach. I think they brought back Halloween Havoc at a certain period of time. I didn't know. It mind boggles me, and hopefully I know he's hurting for money. The XFL thing, him losing that again for a second time is a big hit to your pockets. So, having all these big contracts, cutting guys like Bronson Reed to Bray Wyatt, it's hurtful and it sucks, and not only makes us the fans worried, but you're kind of wishing that they pull something out of their butt. But I don't know. Hopefully we see something new, something great If not, I think I have to make the jump.
Yeah, that's honestly what scares me is that with all these changes, normally when we're going into this like new era of WWE kind of thing, there's this level of excitement where you're like, okay, now we're gonna start seeing more indie guys take over. You know, you get like all the NXT guys are coming in, and that's gonna be the new era. That's not what this feels like at all. This feels like we're taking a step back and like we're dumbing it down. We're taking out all these elements that were making it unique and different and going back to the old big guy is big star kind of thought of what old school wrestling used to be. And I feel like that it doesn't make me excited. It doesn't make me excited to see things go back to the way they were, to the way that, you know, like old 80s wrestling was, where the bigger you are, the better star that you can be. That's I don't like where this is going. I'm hoping that I'm wrong. I'm hoping that they can do something really cool and come up with something where the main roster really starts stepping up. And even though NXT's gone back to just being developmental, like honestly, I remember watching NXT when it was just the hour-long tape show that was on WWE Network, and I loved that shit because there was some quality ass wrestling that happened on there. Um, so I'm not against them stepping back a bit. It's just I worry because they're losing so much talent, and now there is legitimate competition that's popping up, and I don't know if they have the type of time to be waiting around to really make some changes that are going to be good. Because I mean, like you said, there's a shiny new toy out there, and I don't know if I want to stick around with this old rusty one anymore.
Crazy times, I swear. Crazy times.
Anyway, after all that rant, make sure to watch WWE this weekend.
On Peacock. We're not sponsored yet.
Not yet. Not yet. But if you know someone, we'd love a nice sponsor.
Not an actual
cool.
Peacock either. Please don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Albert, what do you got for us about the MCU?
Well, we're gonna walk into the MCU. So one thing I wanted to do is kind of have a conversation with you guys. So we're into the first steps of phase 4, I would say. We've gotten some bits and pieces between WandaVision and Captain America, or yeah, it is Captain America now. With Black Widow and with Loki. So we're getting some hints, and we also know all the movies and stuff that are be coming out phase 4. So I kind of wanted to discuss with you guys so we can get these predictions out now, so that in the future when we're right, everyone can be like, oh my God, those guys got it right. Where do you think we're going? Go ahead and jump out when you got an answer.
Secret Wars. I think that's
Boom,
one
buzzword. I like it.
I think that's one. It makes the most sense. Also, it involves a whole bunch of obviously like timeline stuff and crazy things like that. But Secret Wars, I think, is one major jump. Not just to jump off topic a little bit, but from what I've heard, Disney's actually trying to get ready to send Fox a big offer for the Spider-Man license, so they can get all their characters.
Sony, but go ahead.
Sony. I'm sorry, yeah, Sony. So they can get all the characters. So if that does happen, that's going to open up a ton of stuff and maybe possibly balance out this. Well, I mean, it makes sense. The timelines, warping together or coming back in or doing the squiggly line or whatnot. But yeah, I think it's going to go into Secret Wars. But it's hard to tell. The way that Loki ended, I don't want to spoil it just in case no one hasn't watched it, but the possibilities are endless. I haven't gotten to watch What If yet. I haven't just had the time, but I think we're going to try to binge watch the 2 episodes back to back once the second one gets released. But that's another thing that's crazy to me. So I never thought that would actually be a series. I thought, those were just comic books that Stan Lee or whoever got bored one day. I was like, I wonder what would happen if Captain America wasn't a Captain America. or Black Panther was actually in Guardians of the Galaxy or whatnot. So it's crazy, and I'm excited. I know people got kind of confused towards the end of Loki, Mr. Hardy, but it, the way to look at it right now is be optimistic, because just like we were talking about wrestling before, you're about to get a ton of new shiny new toys, and even characters that are not main staged or like household names that you're gonna fall in love with, and I'm excited for that big time.
I'm guessing they're probably going to try to go for more multiverse stuff. Is the way I think they're going to be heading. I'm not too big on the comic book, so I'm not exactly sure what that all entails just yet. But yeah, I think it would be great if they can introduce some new elements to kind of, at least for me, kind of like reel me back in. Because like after Infinity Wars and such, like Endgame, it was just like, okay, well now the big bad guy's defeated, so what's left for the Avengers to do? And now we're just having these kind of like what I consider like smaller stories building up to something bigger. So I'm hoping like we'll get some new interest here soon, and that'd be pretty cool.
I could attempt to pique your interest, sir.
Okay, good.
Some of the stuff that I've been kind of tracking to see what seems to be coming. One, obviously, with Loki, Kang is here. He has arrived, and some craziness is going to happen because of the multiverse, as it should. I think that obviously the multiverse opens up a lot of things. It's going to lead to probably Secret Wars. Probably, to be honest, Secret Wars may not come until about Phase 5. But we will definitely set the groundwork where we're opening things up. We're bringing in these alternate timeline folks, things like that. Because you can't really do Secret Wars without Doctor Doom. And I don't think Doctor Doom's coming in at least until Fantastic Four, which is the very end of Phase 4. So you're probably not getting him being a big bad until Phase 5. I feel like a lot of it is going to be setting a lot of groundwork. I think we're also getting hints of a sort of dark Avengers type of thing. From I don't care. I'm gonna go ahead and spoil some stuff. With Falcon and Winter Soldier, we had the introduction of, I don't remember her name, Elaine from Seinfeld.
Oh, you're talking
sorry.
about oh my gosh, not Lady Deathstroke. Why did I want to
go
say
ahead? That? It's a much longer name. But she like is recruiting the U.S. agent.
Is he supposed to be Bob?
No, Bob?
Yeah, I think is his name Bob? I swear his name's Bob.
Bob?
Yeah, Bob's supposed to be like an offsetting person of Captain America.
Bob? So they gave him a name already. We know the character he is. He's U.S. agent, which from the comics is an alternate kind of. Yeah, so that's a Deadpool dude.
That's upsetting.
He's a agent. If, in case you're wondering, Taylor, he's an agent of Hydra. Deadpool like kills a lot of people and then runs into Bob. He's like, "Hey, Bob, how you doing? How's your family?" And like he becomes this like side character of like every time he goes after Hydra. Hey, look, it's Bob. How you doing, Bob?
Gotcha.
Fun guy. Not who we're talking about here. U.S. agent is like a darker version, more like Captain America's very red, white, and blue. America's the best. U.S. agent is purely America is first and everybody else doesn't matter kind of thing. So he's alternate Captain America. We've already, if you watch Black Widow, end credit scene, that same woman, still don't know her name. I thought David would figure it out by now. Is recruiting Yelena Belova.
Yeah,
Gotta remember the next Black Widow. I wouldn't be surprised if she starts going over, because we are already seeing that the Hawkeye series that's coming out is going to introduce the new Hawkeye, Kate Bishop. So I wouldn't be surprised if we go there. And then we're just getting all these like alternate versions of the Avengers that we already have. We're already reintroducing Abomination in Shang-Chi when that comes out. So there seems to be alternate versions of each of the Avengers. So it seems like it's leading to like a Dark Avengers type of thing, where the new Avengers, are going to have to fight the like essentially dark version of the old Avengers, and it could be really interesting.
That does
Go
sound
ahead.
interesting.
Valentina Allegra del Fontane. Fontaine?
Fontaine. Fontaine.
Yeah, that one.
Yep. That's why I don't say it. It's a long name. But she seems to be recruiting that, which if you read the comics, isn't quite the same as the Dark Avengers that's in the comics. In the comics, it's Norman Osborn, aka the Green Goblin, who recruits these folks. He himself becomes Iron Patriot, which is like a combination of Captain America and Iron Man, which that was just a cool thing that they did. And like got all these, like he recruited Venom to be the new Spider-Man of his Avengers. He recruited what's his name? Dakin,
Yeah,
Wolverine's son, to be the Wolverine of his Avengers. So
Which
it was a cool like.
Oh, my bad. It actually makes sense because Wolverine was in Japan and he did all that stuff or whatnot. And he messed around with that girl, and that's technically who Dakin's mom is supposed to be, in the comic books at least. But like she's supposed to get murdered, and they didn't know she was bearing with child, and he lived, and he like totally despises Wolverine. So,
which I wouldn't be surprised if he gets introduced some point in the future, but not this phase. But yeah, we got like a Dark Avengers thing that seems to be being built. Obviously, we've got Skrulls somewhere in the background with association with Captain Marvel, leading to a Secret Wars show that will be on Disney Plus, or sorry, Secret Invasion. I gotta remember there's a difference. Another thing that seems to be, we're starting to build a young Avengers. A lot of Avengers teams. We're getting a lot of teams. We've already dropping hints of Wiccan and Speed, the two kids of Scarlet Witch and Vision. We're getting Stature, who is Ant-Man's daughter, who grows really big. She's a young Avenger. Patriot, who is Isaiah Bradley's grandson. Isaiah Bradley being the like Captain America who was erased, the like Black Captain America. If you watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier, he's the guy who America basically betrayed, which is pretty accurate to the comic book. So I'm surprised they did that. But like his grandson takes over as Patriot. So we're getting a lot of hints, and probably the most fun one is the fact that the leader of the Young Avengers is Iron Lad. Iron Lad, which sounds like it's some kid of Iron Man. It's not. It's actually Kang the Conqueror from an alternate timeline, who gets an armor very similar to Iron Man's, ends up in this timeline, and then uses that armor as a young Avenger. And so it's a young Kang, a whole new version of Kang the Conqueror, taking over this version of the Avengers. So I like the idea that we're just going to get like 20 different versions of Kang in hero form, in villain form, in totally random bystander, fake Mandarin form, whatever the fuck we want to do, which makes this next phase kind of fun. I think the two that really confuse me as to what's going to happen with them is Shang-Chi and the Eternals. I honestly don't know where those two are supposed to lead. I know Shang-Chi becomes a part of the Avengers at some point in the comics, but like I don't see an immediate through line. I don't know if you know anything, David.
Shang-Chi's one of those mysterious comic book characters that I don't know anything about. One, I think it's just because it never like really, I don't want to say related to me, but I was more like towards like the X-Men type of stuff that's going on at this point in time. But I don't know. It's interesting because I'm going into this new movie with an open mind, because to me it's a new superhero. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
And then, like I said, the other one that's confusing me is the Eternals, which I there's connections to the Celestials. It's very space oriented. but they're like on Earth, so it doesn't seem like there's a lot of like universe traveling kind of stuff like Guardians of the Galaxy does. So I don't know what that's going to lead to either. Like, I don't know if it's going to introduce the Inhumans, in which case we tried that already. That didn't work out very well. Um, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to lead to Galactus. I don't know. That's those two are honestly the like bigger mysteries to me. The rest of them, it's pretty obvious because a lot of them are just sequels. With like the new Thor, Doctor Strange 2, even Spider-Man's like clearly multiverse related. But like the next two, Shang-Chi and the Eternals, are two where I honestly have no idea what those two are leading to.
Do you think at some point they'll reintroduce like the Dark City aspect? You know, because they are
Like,
bringing like Blade and Morbius
yeah.
supposedly. So like, do you think they could possibly bring back like the Punisher and like Daredevil and like Kingpin and that like kind of story arc as well?
I have heard rumor because they're like you said, they're already bringing back Blade. I've heard rumor that the same Daredevil from the TV show is going to be popping up in Spider-Man. I have heard rumor that Disney recently acquired a new studio with the intent of using that studio to develop more dark type of superheroes. For instance, they just recently got Ghost Rider back. They got everyone from the Netflix shows back, so Punisher, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones. So those could all show up. We've already confirmed there will be a Moon Knight as well, which honestly, I'm pretty fucking hyped for that. So I can see it. I don't know how they're going to do it, if they're going to try and cross it over with Avengers, or if they're going to do like they did with the Netflix shows where it's just almost like its own world, pretty much. But I'd be super down to see these folks come back because I like at least Daredevil on the Netflix shows and the first season of Jessica Jones. I feel like it fell off a bit, but I think those characters have so many good stories tied up with them, especially Daredevil, that you can't just leave them on the sidelines. You got to have them show up in some way or form.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I hope they can get the guy who does Kingpin in Daredevil to play Kingpin again because he does such a good job.
I thought they said they were bringing
I
him back.
would love that.
Yeah.
I've heard that as well. I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up in Spider-Man 2 or Spider-Man 3, but Spider-Man as well. Sorry. But like if he shows up, because honestly, Kingpin is just
Us?
yeah, I noticed the thing went off. I kept talking. I don't know if you guys just stopped or
I didn't.
what.
I didn't. But we can restart. Hopefully Josh can be able to cut and clip this real quick.
Okay.
Sounds good.
You ready to
Are we starting a new audio track or?
I've kept mine going, so I'm just going to have him cut the audio out.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Ready? 1,
Yep.
2, 3. So yeah, I heard that Kingpin's supposed to be, they're supposed to be bringing that guy back. I mean, he's as much of a Spider-Man villain as you saw in like Into the Spider-Verse. He's as much as a Spider-Man villain as he is a Daredevil villain, so he should totally be in the MCU. And like that actor was like the perfect actor to do Kingpin. You can't replace him at this point.
Yeah. I just like the way he talks, where he's like, I see you got my message. And just like super over dramatic about things. And I'm like, I love it. So I want more of him.
Well, it will be interesting, especially since they already put out the full lineup of Phase 4. And I don't think they put out all the TV shows, have they?
You mean like have they mentioned what's coming out, or
As in,
what?
because they did the Phase 4 movies, like in Humans and Blade and all that whole thing or whatnot. But they haven't said what TV shows are coming out for Phase 4, have they? Like what's going to
They
finish
have.
off the rest?
Yeah,
So
there's a timeline for it.
Yeah, there's a full timeline. If you want, I could let you know. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, because they did
Do-do-do-do.
announce it when we were in San Diego Comic-Con. Obviously, they moved Black Widow around because of COVID, so the timeline's a little bit different. But I know they made an announcement for everything.
Yeah, what's supposed to be coming? We have Hawkeye coming by the end of this year. Miss Marvel's supposed to be early next year. Moon Knight is next year. She-Hulk, but we're getting a nice, which I'm pretty excited for, a She-Hulk TV show. Secret Invasion is supposed to be coming. Ironheart, which is, I don't know if you guys know who Ironheart is, but she's essentially the next Iron Man.
Ooh.
And then Armor Wars, which is heavily Iron Man related. Obviously, I guess it's supposed to be some villain gets their hands on Tony Stark's armors and uses them for the wrong reasons, and so
Didn't that
the
happen in the
Rhodey's supposed,
first movie?
pretty much, or more the second movie. Every movie,
Yeah.
everyone misuses Tony's stuff. Even he misuses it. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's supposed to be the whole thing, and so it's supposed to bring in.
Cool. So, I guess that will lead me to my topic then about the Pokemon Direct, I suppose.
Scene
uh,
and cut. So top 5.
yeah. Well, that was fast. um, Today, Nintendo or the Pokemon Company had a Pokemon Direct where they talked about some upcoming changes to Pokemon Unite. They announced a release date for Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and then we also got a release date for Pokemon Legends of Arceus. So yeah, we'll just start off with Pokemon Unite. If you don't know what that game is, it's supposed to be a Switch game and a mobile game together, but it's a MOBA, so it's basically a 5-on-5. You have 5 Pokemon versus 5 other Pokemon, and you try to take each other's towers, and you earn points on these towers, and whoever has the most points at the end of the time limit wins the match. And so the only thing I don't like about this game is that it is very much pay to win, unfortunately. Yeah, you could spend money to get all these characters and give you kind of like a competitive edge, which is unfortunate since it's a Pokemon game. But yeah, otherwise it's been pretty fun. It's a easier form of League of Legends, in my opinion, and it's easier for the younger generations to kind of get into a MOBA and play with their favorite Pokemon. After that, we have the Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl remakes. They're just remakes of Pearl and Diamonds, just new graphics, a couple of updated gameplay features and such, but you're going to kind of expect the same game that was released back in 2006, I think it was. So it's a pretty old game. And then the one I'm really excited for is the Pokemon Legends of Arceus. And they're doing something different with this Pokemon game that they haven't done before, where it's like an open world concept. It's going to be adventure and then with elements of RPG. And they are splitting it up into 3 different factions. So like you can do research, which is typical what we're used to most Pokemon games. You want to capture them all and add them to your Pokedex. Or you can do like reconnaissance missions or so. And then like and the third one was military police, something like that. It was like a defending some concept or so. I'm probably getting that wrong, but yeah, there's elements where like you can't just walk up to a Pokemon and battle it. Like there's some that will run away from you, so you have to hide like in the grass and then try to throw the Pokeball at it. Some like you actually have to battle to whittle it down, and then you can capture it. So it's going to be interesting. They're taking I guess, a risk with this one and changing up the typical Pokemon formula and doing something a little bit different. But I'm excited. Like it's the same like when Breath of the Wild came out, they kind of changed the Legend of Zelda formula, where it's an open world concept, and it actually was amazing. So I'm excited to see where they go with this kind of game. So yeah, that is my news with that topic.
Pokemon.
Yep, gotta catch them all.
I'm all for changing up the formula of Pokemon a bit because I love the main series Pokemon games, but yeah, you gotta love the changes to it. You know, the Pokemon stadiums, the
Yes.
Pokemon puzzle leagues, the the Pokemon Unite was an interesting one. And yeah, like Taylor was saying, if you have never played a MOBA before and you would like to give it a try, do Pokemon Unite. That's a very good beginner MOBA. Um, don't if you've never played before, don't do League of Legends. Don't do Smite's another one. I really like Smite, by the way. I actually prefer it over League of Legends, if anybody wonders. But those are very heavy strategy based. You've got to know what you're doing before you walk into that because it's going to be very overwhelming what's going on. Stick with Pokemon Unite. It is a bit pay to win, which is a little unfortunate, but it'll introduce you to the aspects of a MOBA, of going down lanes, of understanding the different roles that you play, of understanding all that stuff. And then once you want to try a real MOBA and give it an actual try, hop on Smite, hop on League of Legends, Heroes of Storm, Dota. There's some quality choices out there. Like Smite's the coolest because it's got mythology. So you can play as gods and heroes from mythology of different types. Wonderful stuff.
Now, I know you guys have been trying to sucker me into playing Pokemon Unite. How bad of the pay to win is it?
I mean, like you get some free characters, and there is an element to earn in-game currency to buy more characters. I was told you can buy like items or so. I had a coworker that's dropped $200 on this game, which is astronomical amount of money for a single video game. But yeah.
The bad part is I feel like that's actually acceptable these days. I think
Oh.
I'm pretty sure each one of my kids has dropped like 100 plus on Fortnite from freaking V-Bucks cards.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: is like in situations like that, totally cosmetic. You just want the coolest new stuff. With Pokemon Unite, there's a system to it to where you can carry an item and it gives you like a boost of some sort, whether it's like a potion that you can use whenever you need to give you a little up in HP or something like that. Essentially, to get the like really good items, you have to pay for them. And so people will drop big money to get the really, really good items so that when they get in the game, they have an advantage because of that item that they're carrying that you can't get unless you pay for it. And that's where the like pay to win thing comes in. If you're like early on and like facing folks who aren't taking it seriously, doing very casual, there's no like pay to win to it there. Most people are just using the free items that you get. But once you get to like competitive stuff, absolutely pay to win. Like unless you're dropping money too to get these like top tier items, don't even give it a try. You're just gonna get frustrated.
Yeah, see, because I always go to these free games thinking that I'm at least gonna drop $40 to $60, basically because that's how much a video game costs nowadays. Being free is a gimmick to me because there's nothing that's ever free. You always have to drop some type of currency, whether it's in-game currency or your time or something. So especially for Warzone, there's a couple times where I've got frustrated where I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna buy this loadout so I can unlock this gun because I can't use these crappy guns to unlock this gun because doing this little specific mission is way too hard for this shitty ass 20 round burst rifle for some reason. So I'm just gonna buy this gun straight out with this loadout. That's why I wanted to know. Like, so basically you're saying there's no way to get those epic level items unless you buy them out of, I'm guessing they're loot boxes or
No, you legitimately go into the shop and buy those items. You can, so it's in-game currency, so you can, if you want, grind for days to be able to afford an item like that. Or like most people, they just buy it and there it is. Now they have it and they can use it in each one of their games, which affects, those guys who are trying to grind, because you get more points if you're winning games, and you can't win games if you don't have the top tier items. So it takes the grind, it makes it even longer. It's not the best system that they made. It's still a good introductory MOBA, especially because it's only 10 minutes per game, right?
Yeah, it's
It's
very
like
quick.
yeah, there's timers on it to where it's only 10 minutes. If you jump into a regular MOBA, that shit can take an hour, hour and a half, long ass games. So if you're looking for a short, quick, easy MOBA experience, hop on Pokemon Unite. It's pretty fun. Plus, you get to play as Pokemon. That's never a bad thing.
Yeah, the one thing I liked about League of Legends and Heroes of the Storm, I have no experience with Smite, is that there wasn't really a pay to win aspect to it, because like the characters are what the characters are, and then you buy the items in game with the in-game currency, which is provided to you. That's the whole point of the game. So it's not like you're spending any money. You could spend money if you want to unlock the character that you really want to play, but at least there was no pay to win aspect, because it's like the characters are pretty fairly balanced with each other. And same for Heroes of the Storm. It's like you get the character you want, you play it, and that's it. And then no need to spend money to make yourself more powerful. So, um, yeah, that's the only thing I don't like about Pokemon Unite, is that you need to spend money to become competitive if you want. So,
Yeah, and that's always
yeah,
frustrating.
yeah.
But yeah, try
Um,
Smite. Smite's real fun, especially
yeah,
right now with everything that's going on with Blizzard. Try Smite.
yeah, that's true. I did forget to mention that Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl did have a release date of November 19th of this year, so that's pretty soon, pretty exciting. And then we have the Legends of Arceus, which got an announcement of January 28th for 2022 for next year. So still fairly soon, just right after Christmas. So I can't wait to pick that game up. So
Amazing.
uh,
Amazing.
All of these stuff. It's nice to hear there's some good games coming, from hearing from uh, the other folks, PlayStation and Xbox,
mhm.
all these games getting delayed further and further away. It's nice to hear Nintendo come out and be like, no, we got you. We got some good games coming. Be
Yeah.
ready. To get excited.
I know this is gonna sound super crazy, but I'm starting to think this delayed stuff, it happens every time a new system drops, is because they're trying to get the most out of the game when it hits retail or hits your Xbox. And since everyone doesn't have a PlayStation 5 or I don't even know what the new Xbox is called. The
Xbox
Xbox,
Series X.
the refrigerator, yeah. Um, since not everyone has one, as much as they would like, I think people always like, oh yeah, it's getting delayed. I almost guarantee you the game's probably done, but putting it out now, only a handful of people are going to be able to play it. Look what they did to Cyberpunk. I was so hyped for Cyberpunk. And the storyline started off great. And then all of a sudden, my guy's walking with the briefcase, and the briefcase is being held back at the door. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's not right. Or like one of the cinematic scenes is like a guy's getting his face blown off and it's stuck in the air. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's not right. So I think the delays, like I said, it could be me thinking conspiracy talk or whatever, but I think it honestly has to do with them trying to get everyone to have the Xbox refrigerator or the PS5 in household as soon as possible, so that when this does hit, multiple people have a chance to actually get the game, instead of like, you know what, I'm just gonna wait for it till I can actually get a PS5.
You are not wrong. That is more than likely what's going on. Uh, and it makes sense. I feel like there is a way around that, in that you just keep your game prices at the same, kind of like what Nintendo does. If you ever go in to get like a Nintendo Switch game, you could be looking to get Breath of the Wild, which is, I don't even know how old at this point, and it's still $60.
4
Just
years
do that
old.
with, yeah. So just do that with these games. Have them pop out. Those of us who are lucky enough to have the systems can play them, and then when everyone else has the chance to get the system, they can buy the game still at the same price, so that you're not losing the money that you would have lost either way. Because you know people are going to want to play these games. More times than not, folks are like stepping away from buying at launch and waiting to see reviews, gameplay, more stuff on it before they make the decision to buy. So imagine having these games come out, top quality games that everyone gets excited about, and being like, you have to work super hard to get your PS5 now in order for you to play this game. Like that'll make people go out and buy that system more than anything. Because right now people are like, oh, there's no games coming out for PS5. Why the hell am I going to go buy it? That doesn't make sense at all.
I guess I'll move.
Yeah. My bad. Just real quick, I want to add one last thing. Or some of us have to still play on PS4 updated graphics because someone in the squad doesn't have a PS5. You know, is holding the rest of us back. So
Madden would have been so much better. PS5
on.
Madden is so much better than PS4.
Come on, brother.
And we had to deal with stupid PS4 Madden.
Poor brother Gabe.
Brother Gabe.
Cool. I guess I'll move us on to our primary topic of the show. Today's topic is going to be the top 5 Mario Party mini games, and this could be for the whole Mario Party universe. This top 5 comes to from one of our fans, Kurt Toomey. So thank you for the top 5 recommendation.
You want it? You got it, scrub.
I was pretty excited to write this list just because, like, revisiting some of the older Mario Party games that I haven't played in a long time, I'm like, oh, I remember that game, or I remember that one. So this was a lot of fun. So thank you. All right. I guess I go first, or you go first, Mr. Maggard.
Oh, all of a sudden, did you forget the format? I mean, we
Yep.
have this stuff written on paper, pencil, typed it out. Anyways, so like Mr. Taylor Hardy said, aka Tesla Taylor, it was fun trying to go back, because to be dead honest with you, right when Taylor decided, hey, let's do this list, you know, that Kurt Toomey picked, I was like, man, I don't know why I can't remember a single mini game. And so I had to go back to each one, even the DS ones, to make sure that I didn't miss any of those out, which I'm sorry if you have that on your list. Your list is invalid because I just remembered those were crap. So other than that, so we're going to get this list started off popping, little poppity pop, with a mini game from Mario Party 1, the first one ever. It is called Facelift. Now, if you don't know what the game is, it's a picture of Bowser's face, and it's like all jacked up. Like it might have like a big nose and like super wide cheeks and little squinty eyes, and you have a regular Bowser face on your part of the screen, and you have to pull his face apart within a certain amount of time limit to try to exactly match whatever Bowser's face is. I didn't know why when Mario Party 1 first came out, I was totally amused by this game, and to be dead honest with you, also going through this list, it makes me want to try to go back and collect every single Mario Party so we can have like a Mario Party day at some point in time.
Got a good portion of those Mario Party games already.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
So special. Ooh.
I remember that one too, because it was like a lot of fun, like when we were kids and such. And it's like sometimes I remember my friends just messing around and making weird faces. They knew they were going to lose the mini game, but it was really funny when you could like stretch out the face and make it look ridiculous. So I remember that game.
Yeah, such a stupid game, but like I said, it's fun. It made my list.
Quality stuff. Remember that game? That made it on the Mario Party 2, I believe, if I remember correctly.
I think so. So I'm not gonna lie. I think I have one other thing on Mario Party 1, but I believe a lot of the games from Mario Party 1, they made it an updated version on Mario Party 2. I also believe, I think maybe a couple from Mario Party 2 made it to Mario Party 3 as well. So, well, it's interesting. We'll see how your guys' list go and see if any of those made it on there as well.
For sure. I have a favorite Mario Party, and it'll be very obvious what it is. So I'll just go ahead and get started with it. So the one I wanted to start off with is I wanted to get this off the bat because we can all agree. We can all agree that the RNG mini games are the worst fucking mini games. Absolutely hate them. Like the one that always comes to mind, that stupid day at the races, whatever, where you just pick either Boo or Bomb or whatever, and they just go running and they have a race and you have no control over what's happening.
Yeah.
You're like, what's the damn point? Why am I choosing? I don't know who's gonna win. It's random every time. This is stupid. For those of us who take this game seriously and are competing to win, this is the stupidest fucking game. Having said that, there's one that I love that is super random based, RNG based, but I absolutely love it. And that's from Mario Party 2. And that's Bowser's Big Blast.
There it is. This made my short list.
Love that game. Absolutely love every other RNG game. I hate it. By the way, RNG, if you're wondering, random number generator, it's essentially like the game tries to make it random. So games like Day at the Races, there's nothing you can do to influence the race. Someone's going to win. It's going to be completely random. It doesn't matter who you choose. It's just going to be random. It's stupid. But Bowser's Big Blast is so much fun because it feels like you're almost gambling, really. Because I remember this. I remember this every time, just seeing that big old Bowser head behind me and all the like 5 colors of levers and being like, God damn it, if I pick the wrong one, I'm the first dude. And if I pick the wrong one, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. Because there's no way. There's like a 20% chance I'm wrong. And then the fucking countdown happens. Like, son of a bitch. It's such a good game, though. I love that game. It's the one example of like using randomness really well. Because even though it's super random, just the stress, and it's so simple of just you're picking a lever. That's it. That's all it is. But it's so stressful of possibly guessing the wrong one, especially if there's so many to choose from. You're like, God, there's no way this is wrong. There's no way. Is it? Shit. It's a great game.
I think the best part of that game is if you make it to the final 2 and there's only 3 levers. And if you're the first one, you're already sweating trying to figure out which one to push. And you push it and it's the right one. And then you're like, oh shit, he has to pick the right one. And now the pressure's on that guy. And then that person's going back and forth like, I don't know which one to pick. I don't know which one to pick. And then so like that's one of those stand-up moments. They're like, you're waiting. Oh no, he got the right one. That means I have to push that one.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, this
So
definitely made my short list. I love that game as well. Oh God, such a good game.
All right, we'll go on to my number 5. This one's from Mario Party 8, and the mini game was called Treacherous Tightrope, and so you had to use the Wiimote holding it like horizontal, and you had to be very careful as you're walking because sometimes the wind would blow, and you'd have to correct the Wiimote and turn really right or turn really left, and so it's just like most of the time you'd overcorrect and you just like throw yourself off. But I don't know, I really liked that game because it was like stressful because that wind really effed with you, and otherwise you could be perfectly still, but the game finds some ways to screw with you. So I don't know, I really like that mini game in particular, so that was my number 5.
That's a quality choice. I liked Mario Party on the Wii just because it introduced so many more interesting things. It's one thing to be good at pushing your buttons at the right time. It's another thing to be good at balancing and maneuvering and everything. It just brought a new element to Mario Party.
Yeah, that's a solid choice there.
Solid choice.
Quick pause. So for everybody, if you don't know any of these games, I would YouTube them. They're on YouTube. They have gameplay. Every single one of these games, I'm like 97% positive they're on YouTube somewhere. The games are great, especially the ones that are going to be on our list. I don't know about these two, but mine are amazing. With that being said, we're going on to my number 4. And my number 4 is actually based on Mario Party 10. And it's the bomb combo. So basically, it's like a game of chance. You're holding a bomb, and there's like tons of bombs like running around on the bottom of the floor. And what you have to do is you have to toss this bomb and hopefully set off a chain of command of more bombs blowing up each other. And the more bombs that get blown up, the higher your score is. And you want to try to like basically, hopefully you get to like blow up all the bombs on the screen or whatnot. But I don't know. It's a fun little tactical game. It's really enjoyable. I like it. Sometimes you just get that one throw where you're like, oh, I just threw it into a crowd of bombs, and all those other bombs go away, and like you only blow up like 3, and you're like, wait a minute, what? But yeah, I really appreciate that game, the bomb combo off of Mario Party 10.
Quality choice there, sir. The newer games I haven't played too often. I've been meaning to, but I don't like to play Mario Party unless I'm playing with other people, obviously, because that's just weird. Who plays Mario Party by themselves?
And we're just computers. That's rough.
Yeah, that sounds horrible. But yeah, I have played that one. That's a quality game, though. I really enjoy that one.
Yeah. For some reason, it's not coming to mind. Like, I've played Mario Party 10, but I don't remember that mini game for some reason. So I have no recollection of this place.
So yeah, like everyone takes a turn, and like I said, you stand on this platform that's raised, and there's a whole bunch of bombs on the bottom, and you just toss the bomb like wherever you pick a spot, and then you click it, and he just throws it, or whoever your person is throws it. And obviously, like the bomb still has like a timer, like he's kind of walking a little bit, and then he blows up.
Oh, okay. I think I remember that now. So yeah, because you think you'd throw it great, and then like you were saying, you only get 3, and you're like, what the crap? So
yeah. And then like all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, there was a big ass pile right there. So it's like you almost want to choose a spot where like you don't think a lot of people are going to be at first until you throw it, and then it blows up a whole bunch. But I've never gotten the whole thing wiped. Supposedly there's people on the internet have. I want you to record it. I want to see it on YouTube or something. Put it on the Twitch or something like that. I'm super old, so I don't know how to do that type of stuff. So but yeah, that's my number 4.
Nice.
Good stuff. My number 4, we're back to Mario Party 2. It was also on Mario Party 1, but I remember it more from Mario Party 2. And it is the Slot Car Derby. I'm sure that, yep, those are the nods. If you haven't played, it's so much fun and so aggravating because you want to go as fast as possible all the time. But if you do it too much, you spin out, and all of a sudden everybody else is passing you by. Like, son of a bitch, I had it. It's so frustrating. It's almost like just a super mini Mario Kart without any items or anything. You're just trying to speed to the end, and there's so much like little bits of strategy to it, but at the same time you're like, can I push it further? I can do it. I can go a little longer, and then you spin out, and it's so frustrating, and it's wonderful. It's a great game.
That one, I remember that, because then you'd have like you'd have corners. Like the straightaway was the best part because you could go full throttle, don't care. But then it's like, oh, if you got to come up the corner and you barely touch the joystick essentially. But if you do it too much, then you spin out of control. So yeah, that was a good choice.
Quality game.
Guess we'll move on to my number 4. This game, it's from Mario Party 8 again. But it made a lot of us laugh when we played it. But it was Shake It Up, and it's a soda game where you have to move the Wiimote up and down in a stroking motion as quick as you can, so that way when whoever stroked it the most got the highest like soda can spray to the top, and then they'd win the game. But just seeing a bunch of like 4 dudes like going hardcore on their Wiimote trying to get the highest soda can just cracks me up. And so It's a really fun mini game, very funny, lots of laughs, and it's got great replay value for those laughs. So that is my number 4.
First of all, I think Taylor always gave me the broken Wii remote controller when we played that game because I was shaking the shit out of that damn thing.
Maybe the batteries were low. I don't know.
Yeah, whole body was shaking, titties were flapping everywhere. Oh, good times, good times. So guess we're going to move on to our number 3s. So my number 3 also has to do with my favorite sport, which is football. And this game was on Mario Party number 8, and it was called Grabby Gridiron. It was a 2v2 game where 2 footballs would just fling out into the stadium, and you would have to try to grab the football and punch and kick and jump and try to put that football in the other person's goal. And then I think it's like the first to like 3 or 5 points was like the winner. But like it's so fun because, like I said, it's 2v2, 2 footballs are going around. So you're trying to stop someone from scoring on you, but you need to score on them. And once you hit them, the ball comes out. And when it comes out, it just doesn't like roll on the floor. Like it does like a bounce. So then you have to go chase after the ball and then pick it up. And then hopefully your teammate can either stop the other guy if he's trying to score. And I don't know, there's just so much chaos going on. That's the one game you end up start yelling at your partner because if they don't hold up their end of the bargain, you're like, why are we partners right now? You're holding me back. I'm in first place with 17 stars. Don't ask me how I got it, but you're holding me back because the second place person's at 16, and I know he's gonna get 7 of the bonus stars because they give it to him randomly, and this game's garbage. But yeah, Crappy Gridiron is one of my favorites. I love that game, and I'll destroy anybody right now.
We're gonna have to play some Mario Party. This would be a lot of fun.
Let me straighten out something real quick. I will always get upset with my partner in whatever game because they are always holding me back. Unless we are perfectly in tune and somehow like our minds connect like fucking Pacific Rim, they're interconnected now. Unless that shit happens, they're always gonna hold me back, and I'm always gonna be upset. Like, son of a bitch, what are you doing? What the fuck are you doing?
The one that made me the most mad is when they purposely make you lose because you're doing so well. And I was like, no, don't do that. You play to win. So, God.
You know what's even worse than that is when for some reason someone gets the bright idea to play Mario Party with 3 players and then puts the computer on normal and the guy is just doing something random, just flailing his arms around like, oh, you can't be this stupid. Like, who makes the computer on normal this dumb? He's not even competitive, stupid guy. He's just doing his own thing, like especially if like it's one of those balancing games and like, oh, we gotta hold this together, and then he's just like obviously going the wrong direction for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
Never play Mario Party 3 players. It's the worst. I'm sorry. I apologize.
That's okay.
Some people only have 2 friends, so I guess.
Such anger.
Albert, you're number 3?
Yeah, I was about to say, is that me? I'm on.
Yes.
Okay. Moving on to my number 3. Number three. For my number 3, we're going back to Mario Party 2. Are you getting the trend yet?
Surprise.
One of my favorite games is a 3v1 mini game. And all it is it's the head of your characters. So there's 1 on top and there's 3 on the bottom. And so it plays a little music. And then everyone has to pick a direction to turn their head. And if the one guy gets the same as anybody else that's in the bottom 3, that person's knocked out. And so that's the whole game. It's called Look Away. I don't know if you guys remember it, but it was so. The best part is there are times where when the music stops, like the main dude picks the direction or whatever, and there's like a little hint of time where even if you go up for a second, you can go a different direction at the very last like millisecond, and it frustrates the shit out of people because like, what the hell? I had it right. I had the guess right. You can't do that shit. The music stops. What the fuck? It's a great game. I love that game.
Oh, the I never really got to play like Mario Party 2 was a blockbuster rental for me, so I only got it for that 5-7 days or however long you got to rent them for. So like that's the most time I got for Mario Party, unfortunately. So
Oh, Mario Party 2 was the primo Mario Party.
yeah.
We owned, I think it was 1, 2, and 3 on the 64.
Mhm.
But 2 was always the one that we played.
Yeah. I like the cell phone mechanic that you had where you can like call Bowser and call it on someone you don't like in the game. And I'm like, this is amazing. So yeah,
Might
I
have
guess it's
times
time for mine.
changed.
I know. My number 3. So this is gonna be from Mario Party, and you haven't lived until you burned a hole in the center of your hand from this mini game. But it was called Tug of War, and it was a 1v3 mini game. And so you would have to, on the N64 joystick, spin in a circle on your hand as quick as possible and try to beat the 3 other players, or the 3 other players try to beat the 1 player. And you're just constantly doing this. And eventually it would just kind of like start burning a hole in your hand. So we got smart wearing gloves, and that started burning holes through our gloves. But anyways, fantastic mini game. Such pain and suffering, really showed how much you could endure pain. So fun fact about that one, because there was a couple other mini games that had that same mechanic where you had to spin your hand. Nintendo, if you emailed them, you'd be like, hey, I injured myself. They send you a special glove so you can continue playing those games as a way to be like, please don't sue us. So
Here's this jerk off glove that you can use on your controller.
yeah.
It's super padded. You won't hurt your hand. That's great. That's just
Yeah.
great. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting hot.
Mhm.
Anyways, off to my number 2. My number 2 is from Mario Party number 5. And I believe it's actually featured on another Mario Party as well. I'm not 100% positive. But the game is Pushy Penguins. And so what happens is you start on one side of this ice block, all of you guys, and you have to try to push your way through like giant penguins, medium-sized penguins, small penguins. So they're all trying to get off of this ice block. So eventually, like you're trying to maze your way through up and down, around and over, and not get pushed off. But sometimes that one big old giant big-headed penguin, he's just like, and he gets right in your way and he cuts you off. And then the little penguins come from the other side and they get right in your way, and you're like, well, I'm fucked. And you get taken right off the edge. I don't know why I love this game. It's so dumb. I'm starting to see a trend in my games now. but I don't know. I think it's fun. The game's Pushy Penguins, and I love it. So don't push my penguin though. Okay.
Quality choice.
Well done, sir. Way to push that penguin.
Wah, 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 wah.
My number two. All right, we're on 2.
Number 2.
Number 2. My number 2 for the young kids may know something. It's similar to a game that's came out recently, and that would be Fall Guys. You know that game where you have to memorize the fruit and you have to get onto the stand and the other platforms disappear. Mario Party 2 did it first. It's Hexagon Heat, and that's where all the hexagons are different colors, and Toad's fucking standing on his little pedestal or whatever, and brings up a colored flag, and then everyone has to run over to that color and hope to God they could fit on, and everybody's jumping on people and they're like bouncing off of each other, and then some people are dumb enough that they bounce off a dude and end up jumping in before it even goes down. But the fact that came first, like that, I remember that so much. And then like playing Fall Guys, like y'all stole this shit. You can't do Hexagon Heat, right? I love that game.
This actually made my short list too, as well. That's one of those ones where you just got to be a little bit quicker than the other guy. Because as the game progresses, the pillars start falling faster. So someone gets lucky sometimes and they're already on that color, and then you're on the other side of the thing trying to jump over there for dear life. So that's a good pick. I like that pick.
Yeah, that's a good one. Guess it's for my number 2.
Number 2.
This is going to be from Mario Party 4, and it was called Bomb. I don't know how to pronounce Bomb.
Bomb.
Yeah.
Ba-bom.
Yeah. Bomb breakers, and the reason why I liked it, it played very much like Pokemon Puzzle League. Instead of match 3, it was match 2, and then you had to kind of like keep matching them to fill up the garbage for the opponent, and then kill them that way. But because I'm such a god at Pokemon Puzzle League, fight me. Like it was such a
so good
great
on a
game.
Tesla.
Why are you like this?
Stupid Taylor.
So that was my number 2. Number 2.
I'm so good at Pokemon Puzzle. You just had to throw that in there, huh?
Yep.
I hope Rachel listens to this podcast.
I want her to get better.
Funny thing, the reason why I started thinking about buying all the Mario parties again is she thinks that the kids aren't using the N64 over at mom and dad's house anymore, and I recently acquired a TV
Ooh,
in my
Oh,
room.
it's in the game room.
So
that's exciting.
yeah, so we'll see what happens. Maybe it'll make an appearance sometime this weekend.
I hope so.
I'm hoping to. Anyways, and finally, number one. So this is by far my favorite Mario Party game, obviously because it's number 1, but also I remember it being my favorite Mario Party game in Mario Party number 1, and I think it was redid and put in number 2. I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. But the game is Bumper Balls. You are on this giant ball on this tiniest of, well, I don't even, it doesn't start off tiny, but you're on this island and you're just trying to bum rush the other guy off the island, and then sometimes you get into a stalemate where your balls are just touching and they're hitting each other so hard and no one's going anywhere, and then all of a sudden someone finally gives and like psychs the other person out because they pull back just a little bit so they get the extra push where they think they're going to hit you off, and then you just give them that little juke move to the side, and all of a sudden they start rolling to the edge and then they're right there and you're like, oh, he's gone, let me give him that one extra push, and little did you know he jukes you and you fall off. Bumper balls is one of those things where it's okay to call a person a little bitch from the other side. It's like, I'm gonna get you, little bitch, and it'd be perfectly fine. No one fights over it. But yeah, Bumper Balls is an amazing game. I love that game, and that's why it's my number 1.
You really like those balls touching, didn't you?
Just smacking together.
Love those balls.
It's me, Mario.
So Albert's number 1 is from Mario Party 2.
Damn you! How'd you know? Look, I swear I've played other Mario Party. I swear, but Mario Party 2 just hits different. What's funny is my old roommate Cole. He got all 3 of the original Mario parties, but number 2 he got in Japanese. So we had to, whenever we played Mario Party 2, it had to be in Japanese. Luckily, I knew every mini game, but like the people who would come over and be like, let's play Mario Party 2. And then everything's in Japanese. Like, I don't know how to play this game right now. It's like, too bad. I do. Let's do this. Quality stuff. Anyway, yeah, my number 1's from Mario Party 2. I really like the mini games that can last a long time. Because there's a good amount of mini games that there's a timer. You have like 30 seconds or whatever. And then there are those mini games that if you're good, and more importantly, if several of the players that are playing are really good, that shit can last for a while. The one that I love that I remember is Hot Rope Jump.
That made my list.
Yep, that's the one with the little fireballs all lined up, and you're just jump roping. That's it. and then they just vary up the speed, and all of a sudden they're going fast, and then they slow down, and then they juke you out with a fast one, and then they do like a fast over, and then slow down on the under. It's like, you son of a bitch. So good. And especially that's the best one when you really want to compete and you really want to be like, I'm better. You want me to prove it to you? Fucking hot route jump. Let's do this shit. And you just go for like a good 15, 20 minutes going up and down and up and down. It's like, fucking shit. Just give up already. You can't do it. Such a good game.
So fun fact about that, because when we were going back through this list, I watched that. So yeah, it came out on Mario Party 2, then they redid it on Mario Party 3, because I think they said on Mario Party 2 there's a cap at 99 jumps, I believe.
That's Mario Party 1 had the cap.
Oh, is that
Mario
what it
Party
is?
2 was the unlimited.
There we go. So I got it backwards. So yeah, so Mario Party 1 had the cap at 99 jumps, and they're like, no, there needs to be a winner. And so that's when Mario Party 2 came out with the unlimited jumps. And you know, obviously they still do get faster. Like Albert said, you could go for days if both you are all just focused and on your shit. Sweat is just dripping down your face and going down your chin onto your titties, and you're like, all I need to do is just keep pushing this button, just push it again and again, and slow it down, and then push it, and then speed it up, and then push it, and then push it, and then nothing hurts more than doing something for a long period of time and then realizing you fucked up from your own mental mistake. Hashtag ask brother Gabe in wrestling, NWO versus WCW. We played a wrestling game for almost 2 hours, and then he let up that one little time. You know, the bad part is I remember Albert wanting to play right afterwards. I'm like, hey, I'm tired.
I had a fucking winner, and then an hour later, it's like, I guess they ain't gonna have a fucking winner.
Yeah, but that's just one of those games that physically just wear you down. You know what the bad part is after you play that hot rope jump, you still got to play the rest of the game. Okay, there's a point in time where you might have to play that shit again later on down the road, especially if it happens in the beginning. You know, mentally wearing that is on a person. Like, I just got my ass beat and I thought I had something for 15 minutes, and then we're gonna go back to the regular board, the regular game. Oh, good times, good times. I appreciate that pick.
All right, my number one. This is gonna be from Mario Party 4, and it was a 4-player mini game, and it was called Domination. And so the point of the game was to tap the A button as fast as possible, and it would pop up with the, oh my gosh, the Thwomps or the falling guys, right?
Yes.
And
then the Thwomp is I don't remember.
I think the Thwomps are the bricks.
Oh, the blue bricks.
The Thwomps are the bricks, and then the Womps are the like walls.
Oh, okay, Womps. So yeah, so basically the faster you tapped A, the more Womps would pop up. And so it was always a goal between friends of ours to get the highest score. And we had one friend, he was able to beat it. And so my other friend, Manolis, I was like, all right, I found the strategy. And he taped 2 fingers together with tape and was able to start rubbing back and forth. Well, it was causing so much friction, the tape melted to his fingers, and he was just started screaming, but he wouldn't stop. And it was like, why do you keep going? And so he beat the score though. So but it was just like, what is happening? But I have so many fond memories of trying to just tap the A button the fastest to beat the high score, but no one could do it.
I don't know why when you said that right now that popped in. I'm pretty sure you've seen the video of the kid playing a Guitar Hero. And he's just ripping it super hard, and he's like screaming like, oh, and his fingers are bleeding.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he perfects the song, but he's like, I imagine that whole thing right now, but with 2 fingers and tape. Okay, it's melted.
My cheeks hurt.
I'm sorry. Good times.
So thank you, Kurt, for this top 5 recommendation. This was great.
Well, yeah, we appreciated that. Like I said, going back in time and because you gotta realize each one of these Mario parties had like 70 plus games, I think,
Yeah.
on each one. And this is the one that it kind of like I had to do research again to make sure that like these were my favorite games. Speaking of which, if you don't mind, I have a couple honorable mentions that I'd like to hop on that barely missed my list because this list was like really tight for me. So Albert might appreciate this. So 1v3 game for Mario Party 2. The game is called Shock, Drop, and Roll. So
Yes.
yeah, one person controls like this lever, and if they push it forward, these three other players are on like a roller, and like it spins one way, and then they could stop and pull it back, and then it starts spinning the other way. And the object of the game is for you to try to stay on that roller as long as possible. Um, that's a really fun game. I love that. Obviously, I had Hexagon Heat on here as well. Um, Bowser's Big Blast as well. Another one I feel like it's underappreciated, especially if like you're a golf fan. Mario Party 3 had Chip Shot Challenge to where like the hole would be like on the other side and you'd have to like kind of I guess like Angry Bird it kind of because like you would like choose an angle and then hit it with so much power to see how close you could get to the hole. Um Another one of those like a hexagon heat kind of games, Book Squirm. So like there are these pages on a book that would fall, but
Yes.
there'd be like shapes like moons or triangles. Like you wouldn't know at first until like they kind of came halfway. And so you have to make the decision of like, all right, I'm gonna stand right here and let this page fall. Hopefully it doesn't squish me. I really appreciate that game. Mario Party 4, I also had the three throw. So there'd be like three basketball hoops and they'd be moving. One would be moving left, one would be moving right, and the bottom one would be moving left. And you'd be like shooting basketballs, hoping that your basketball would drop all the way down to get maximize as many points. Granite Getaway. This is the Indiana Jones ball rolling one on Mario Party 6. So like it gives you like a basically a camera view of you running towards the camera and this ball kind of coming rolling your direction, but like little obstacles would come up like a boulder and like you'd have to try to jump over or something would slow you down and hopefully the boulder doesn't run over you. Another I almost said Family Guy Fall Guys type of game from Mario Party 7, Funsticle Course. It was like basically a side scrolling course where like some things you just have to like run out of the obstacle, or like there'd be like little pillars you'd have to like jump on specifically, and the camera would only move, like it's a side scroller, it only moves continuously from left to right, so you can't overdo it or else you might mess up something. That was a good one. Oh, that was it. That was my last one.
Nice.
Just to do a short list of mine, I created a list of the games that angered me the most. Because, like I said, I'll get fucking pissed at my partner if he ain't doing your shit. Those being Cake Factory. By the way, these are all Mario Party 2, just to forewarn you. Cake Factory annoyed the shit out of me because it's like it's the cake, then the strawberry. Stop doing the wrong order. Looney Lumberjacks, which is it's a simple game. You do A, you do B, A, B, A, B, back and forth. Why the fuck aren't you on rhythm? What's happening? And then the last one is the dungeon dash, where you like are like got two sticks and you're walking down the dungeon, and so you like march a little bit, and then you have to do a prompt of like push left or push right, and so both of you have to do that real quick. And if someone does the wrong prompt, you just like collapse down, like, oh, I did the wrong thing. And it always frustrated the shit out of me because like I'll hit the right one and then my partner will hit the wrong one. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? It said right. Go push right. Damn it. Frustrating as hell. Great games.
For my honorable mentions, I had Crazy Cutter from Mario Party. You had to trace like outlines and be as close as possible. Hot Rope Jump, which you mentioned already, made my list. Bomb Skitball was another one. It's just using a bomb and throwing it in a basketball hoop. Mario's Puzzle Party, which is just basically Pokemon Puzzle League Match 2. Mario Speedwagon's another one that you mentioned, Albert. Stamp Out was another one that I really liked. It was whoever could have the most of their color on this book. The only thing that pissed me off is like someone would follow right behind you just to keep erasing. And it was like, come on, you've got a whole book, you're choosing to follow me. So
It's a strategy, man.
yeah. But those are my honorable mentions. There's so many other great mini games, but yeah, keeping it short. So,
Good stuff. Good stuff.
yeah. Did we have a fan question?
Oh, yes. Someone from our work had asked the question, what made us pursue making a podcast, making the Tripolar Opinion podcast? Like, what was your basically intentions behind it, or, what had happened to lead to all three of us getting together? I'm going to go last if you guys don't mind.
Okay, yeah, I don't mind. Then I'll go ahead. So,
All right.
Mr. Baggard approached me with, hey, I want to do a podcast. And I was like, okay, that sounds cool. So I said yes. And here I am. The end.
Ever since I was a child. No, I started several podcasts in the past. They have not worked out. Which is, it happens. Being in, our age group, and probably in the future, more future stuff. Younger kids are doing TikTok shit now. But like within our age range was always like, you know what we should do? We should make a fucking podcast. So I've tried this multiple times now. I really enjoy doing this kind of stuff. For y'all that don't know, I did radio for 4 years while I was in college. I like doing this speaking stuff. I won speech contests in like junior high and high school, not to brag or nothing, but so this really gives me my chance to like do some talking. And I have opinions that I like to talk about. So, like Mr. Hardy said, David came, he asked like, hey, you want to do a podcast? Like, yeah, I could talk about shit for hours. Let's do it.
Great. I love you guys for that. And I'm glad we are on this journey of hopefully a never-ending experience that we give these people every other week. So it comes back to me, obviously. I know you guys kind of heard the story for our Board Game Bulldog Day that I had wanted to do a podcast for a while with a couple of other employees from my previous job. Never worked out. There was lots of talks of possibly something put together, but no real groundwork. And then obviously I asked you guys about it, and it's crazy because this all started and it happened way faster than I thought it was going to. I think because I was used to the speed that my other employees were doing at that time. So like when we went in, we were already getting ready to do our first podcast, and I was nervous as shit. But ultimately, the intentions behind it, not only because I wanted to do this for fun, just like you, Albert. I don't know if I ever told you this, but I did radio for Rio Linda Senior High for a couple years. Taylor actually showed up a couple times on my show to do a commercial for what was that thing that you did? You worked for the embroidery
yeah,
shop?
so there was the embroidery shop. Yeah.
Yep.
Hey,
the student store
did that. Yeah, the student store.
The student store.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. So
Miss
Taylor,
Miss Woodall did that. Yeah.
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 So Taylor did a couple like I said, like little commercials for us or talk about like little shout outs for the student store and stuff like that. I always appreciated that. But like I said, my main reason, after not just talking about entertainment for hours upon hours with you guys and putting it on a format that's going to be permanently there, but I think that's the thing. I wanted something to, the kids grow up really fast, and I always bring up the kids in every podcast that we do. I kind of wanted to leave a footprint of something that if they ever like had questions or doubts, like, hey, what was dad's like favorite wrestlers or something like that, and I didn't tell them, that possibly they could get back on the podcast and be like, hey, those were dad's favorite top 5 Mario mini games, or these are dad's favorite superheroes or whatnot. Like I said, just leave a small footprint. I know it's not big, and for me, if this doesn't become anything super, super popular, at least I left this here for them. Just I'm not saying I'm like something's gonna happen, but just in case if anything ever happened, it's here and it's public and everyone knows it, and it's also there for them to grasp at any point in time whenever they want to hear. I think the first time I think that made me like super excited this kind of stuff, Brawley actually found me on accident on YouTube of an old board game review that I did for Board Game Bulldog, and I was like, is that my voice? Like where when did he take a recording of me? And I'm like, oh my God, that's super old. But yeah, that's basically my intentions behind not just doing something fun with my friends and family, but leaving a small footprint for the kids to eventually one day possibly backtrack on.
Nice.
Damn, I should have went with when I was a child, I dreamed of two things. Having a family and starting a podcast. And now I could say my dreams came true.
I know my reason sounds really shitty now, so I want to redo.
Good times.
Good. Guess we move on to our next segment of how small is it?
Dun dun dun.
So my question for you guys is, for Mario Party, the first game, there's a minigame island. How quick did a speedrunner complete it for the world record? A, 34 minutes and 15 seconds. B, 35 minutes, 22 seconds. C, 36 minutes, 10 seconds. Or D, 37 minutes and 19 seconds.
Wait, you're talking about the first stage? Like the first...
No, so there's a mode called Minigame Island, and basically the speedrunner's goals was to get through all these minigames in a very quick amount of time, and so that they've set world records on this time.
Do you want me to go first, Albert, or?
I'll go ahead. I'm gonna go with D. I think it's D.
D, 37 minutes, 19 seconds. All right. What do you say, Mr. Maggard?
I'm going to try to math this. And I'm really bad at math, you guys. So
me
if
too.
I remember correctly, when I was going through this list and stuff, Mario Party 1 had 73 games. So if they did that in about half the amount of time, what was B?
35 minutes and 22 seconds.
I'm going to say B.
All right. Well, none of you got it right.
Son of a bitch. I told you I was bad at math.
Was C, 36 minutes and 10 seconds.
Horseshit.
And you can actually more of what has half.
Yeah. So I actually watched the video of it because like the guy was just pure silent throughout the whole video, and I was like, this is pretty awful. But so I just skipped ahead to that when he was like, oh, I got the world record. And so but yeah, pretty interesting.
Hey, any of you speed runners listening to this, do me a favor, make your speed runs interesting.
Yes, please.
Do something.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch the whole speed run of you going. Nobody saw my face there, but that you get it, what's going on.
All right. Well, we're coming up on the end of our show. If you haven't already, we do have a Facebook page. Please subscribe, like to it. We also have some Twitch channels that me and Mr. Maggard like to stream on when we're playing Call of Duty or board games or whatever. My Twitch channel is just Kitchen Ryu. And Mr. Maggard, your Twitch channel?
Diabetic Coma.
Yeah.
It's a if you look at the logo, it's a gray American bulldog holding a controller, and it says DC across the chest.
Perfect. And
speaking of which, we not only Twitch video games. Saturday we're gonna start, or on Saturdays, we're gonna start trying to Twitch board game play as well.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give a quick shout out to Bagel Top Games. because he's helped me get a couple more viewers or like subscribers, followers, whatever you'd like to call that. I'm not hip to this new stuff, but yeah, he brought some people over and they liked my channel, and hopefully we'll play some Marvel Legendary for him this weekend. So
Nice. Mr. Albert, any shout outs from you?
Shout out to God. And shout out to me mums.
on
me
me
mums.
moms, homie. On me moms. By the way, watch out. We're gonna have a shirt line soon, I think. It's something that we've been talking about in the process. Let us know what you guys think. Do you guys want TPO shirts? Would you wear a TPO shirt? If we gave a TPO shirt out for free for hooking us up with something, a list, an idea, a comment, question, and one randomly we just like, hey, what's your size, big fella? Extra small. Oh yeah, we don't have that. We're all big guys over here.
3x minimum.
But yeah, let us know if you'd like some of that, some TPO merch, because it's been in the talks. And I know we're not super famous, but you know, anything helps. You want some TPO merch? You want a shirt, a little pin, enamel pin with our face on it, maybe like a pencil or something. This is TPO. Has Taylor's face on the eraser. You can just erase the shit out of his face.
Maybe a little Tesla Mini Hot Wheels car. You never know.
Yep. Now we're getting sued.
Yep. There it goes.
Oh, but yeah, it's in the talks. Watch out for it, especially if you're at Gen Con. You might see a preview of some TPO shirts.
Ooh.
Big ol' shout out to Gen Con. If anybody's going to Gen Con, some of us will be there.
Yeah. And then if you guys haven't, we do have a Patreon page. Subscribing just helps out our podcast and cover costs for uploading the videos and such. So that way we can actually pay our sound guy and not give him diet sodas all the time. So
hey man, we went through long negotiations with him to figure out proper compensation, and so we actually had to compromise to get up to the diet soda. We were just going to offer him a high five, but he wanted something substantial, so that's where we got to.
Yeah, he said diet soda, and I was like, all right, edit 60 episodes and we call it a deal. If you didn't know, we're only at episode 15. And he didn't start from the beginning with us. Sucker.
Oh.
Shout out to Josh. Thanks, Josh.
Yeah, thank you, Josh.
Appreciate it, Josh. You're gonna have a hell of a time with this episode.
Well, thank you everyone that has tuned in. We greatly appreciate it.
And until next time.
Yeah. You've been watching.
Nope.
Again.
The Tripolar.
Well, some people are watching.
Oh, I guess so.
Podcast.
Yeah.
See, Taylor's not wrong all the time anymore.
Yep. Because we can upload video if you subscribe to our Patreon.
Oh, got that plug in.
Boom. 2-pronged, not 3. We don't try to take a lot of energy. Okay.
Oh.
Just 2 right now. Thanks, you guys.
Yeah. Thank you. Have a great
Thanks,
night.
y'all. Bye.
Adios.
God damn it.
All right.
Awesome.
Select all.